In all the work that has been done in Palace House, only one thing required structural alteration and indeed listed building consent, and that was the insertion of this door to create a link between this bedroom and bathroom to make it en suite. This room is called the heraldry room, and as is evident, it has a heraldry theme. So the centrepiece is itself strongly heraldic, and this was specially commissioned to be the centrepiece, and features the Montagu crest, which is a griffin's head with a baron's coronet over it, and then below another coronet, the Montagu M and the Montagu lozenges. And this is inspired by a design which my mother produced for an older bedspread which really had worn out, and so this was made anew for this bed, complete with all the drapes. And I really wanted this to feel like a bed fit for a king or queen, and to be a really strong visual statement in this room. Around the top of the room you will see this frieze, which consists of a series of heraldic shields, each with a name underneath them, and everyone depicted is an ancestor of mine, and the original imagery comes from a large scroll which is in our archives and was commissioned by my ancestor John, 2nd Duke of Montagu, who was very keen on genealogy. And so this is actually not all of them, but each of these people up here are individuals who in some way on the family tree I am connected to, although I have to admit in many cases I don't quite know how. Let me tell you about some of the pictures in this room. This is a pastel sketch of my grandmother, Pearl, in pageant costume in the 1930s, and there is actually an oil portrait of her in this same costume, but I felt this was particularly appropriate to put in the heraldry bedroom. The other picture, which is actually a pastel, depicts my ancestor, the 3rd Earl of Southampton, who is known to be the only person to whom Shakespeare dedicated any of his works, and so he has a special place in literature history. The main wallpaper does have a link to Montagu heraldry in that my coat of arms has 3 red lozenges, and although these are not red, the lozenge pattern is nevertheless picked up in this overall pattern. And we have this rather handy walk-in wardrobe again. The dressing table here is one of several we have which is like this, and it's actually converted from an early piano or possibly harpsichord. I think when the pianoforte came along, these were considered rather old hat. But as nice pieces of furniture, some of them were converted to become dressing tables, but the maker's details are still there. And this chair I've had reupholstered. This is actually a piece of fabric which my sister had painted or screen printed with our Montagu griffin crest and other heraldic symbols. It just gives a nice feel to the room, ties in, and in fact we've got another one over there with a rampant griffin, which is what actually supports our coat of arms.